Hey guys, welcome to the Nova Group. We just wrapped a shoot where we gangbanged an 18-serving MRE, shot to 1,000 yards, and tried to use PDWs in a USPSA style competition. My PDW of choice, or maybe my PDW of last resort, was the Ruger LC57 Charger. You might have seen us shoot one of these before. Luke had one in for review, and it went pretty well other than the fact that it disintegrated on the inside. I'm with Brassfax in thinking that a proper PDW is a very compelling option if you can find the right one. So let's check out the LC57 Charger. This is the pistol version of the Ruger LC57, so let's just imagine that you have taken the lower from the Ruger 57 pistol, Ruger 57 pistol, so you're not, you don't want to encroach on any existing trademarks, and you just slap a PDW upper on top of it made out of a couple chunks of extruded aluminum. This is an interesting gun. The whole concept of a 5.7 PDW is pretty exciting. This has a 10-inch barrel. It is a little bit shorter than it looks because of the way the magazine goes into the grip instead of in front. So imagine that you had something like a CMMG Descent 5.7 or the Diamondback 5.7. Those are more like AR platform style. The magazine still has to go in a magazine well. They end up being a little bit more bulky than this, so probably similar size to this. In terms of overall length, but with a lot less barrel. Also, they're probably going to be quite a lot taller. The front end design of the LC makes it kind of look like it would be a takedown model. You can see it's two pieces instead of just one monolithic extruded aluminum upper piece, but that's not the case. It is fixed, although the design suggests that that means you could get replacement handguard sections, which would be nice. We'll just go ahead and start at the front and work our way back and just complain the whole way through. Look at that exposed barrel. Now, exposed barrel is mostly just an aesthetics thing, but on this gun it actually means you lose a lot of rail estate, and that is pretty annoying. It's, I think, pretty clear that they would have room for a whole extra M-LOK slot if they extended this as far forward as clearly the barrel would allow and still have the threaded section completely exposed. Why didn't they? I think that's a Ruger thing. I think it's because they're a little bit gun-shy, pardon the pun, when it comes to safety. This thing includes a hand stop, which I think they'd really like you to use, and they don't want to encourage you to get your hands anywhere close to the end of that thing. So if you have your thumb resting along the long side of the frame, you may have your thumb in front of the barrel, and then, I don't know what, slightly burn yourself. I don't think you'd actually hurt yourself, but you might get a slight burn. A longer handguard would allow you to do things like push lasers farther forward and then still have room for a tape switch on top. Along the side of the gun, we have a non-reciprocating charging handle. I think this is reversible. If you equip this thing with a folding brace or a folding stock, then you can, I guess, put the brace and the charging handle on the same side of the gun, so when they fold, the gun stays relatively flat. It'll still, of course, almost double in width, but then you end up with a fairly compact bag gun type of arrangement. In terms of controls, they have modified the controls of the 5.7 pistol, so we still have the same frame safety, which is ambidextrous. We have got a slide release, slide lock lever, which is not so easy to get to, but it's still fairly convenient. And then instead of the push-button magazine release, they have this extended lever, which I think it comes with a kit to reverse it, but it is not ambidextrous. But you push down on the lever to eject the magazine. Magazines are the next complaint. These are 20 rounders. However, you can very easily stuff up to like 23 in some of these things, and then they start feeding weird. Not totally sure why that is, but yeah, 20 rounds. Loading them is extremely difficult. The rounds want to bind up. They want to pop out. They're just hard to load. Towards the back end, we've got sling attachment points on either side. I think you could feasibly get a 2-point sling onto this gun. I don't think it would work very well. It'd probably cause a lot of interferences, but maybe it's possible. Probably just do a single point, hang it from the back if you want to sling it at all. On the back, 1913 rail section for folding braces. The one that I'm still using is the SB Tactical FS 1913. This is the polymer strut version. I've previously used the aluminum strut version and found it to be overall worse, but for more money and weight. To finish off the configuration, we have got a Holosun 509T and a Reptilia 1.93 mount. Have a D-Ball RL, which is a really bizarre 4-function laser module, and a mod button light in order to actually activate the functions of the D-Ball RL. It's a weird laser. We're using a combination of this angled button on the underside to activate all the Viz features, and then this button activates the IR features. I'm going to make a video about that laser because it's very interesting. I've shot this gun suppressed a bit. Because the barrel is 10 inches, that means that it is long enough that you can safely shoot 5.7 through a lot of rimfire cans, which sounds like a cool thing you can do, but you shouldn't do it because it provides virtually no suppression effect whatsoever, and it's probably really damn hard on the suppressor. During the trip, I shot this thing sparingly suppressed with the YHM Phantom 22. I've also shot it a little bit using the Gemtech Trek 2, just direct threaded on the end. Full-size rifle suppressors do a pretty decent job of suppressing the 5.7 cartridge, but they're way bigger and heavier, so this thing becomes really front-heavy. Also, nobody really wants to store a PDW bag gun with a suppressor attached, just makes it way too long.
Hop, what do you have here today? What fucking PDW abomination? Why is the sun just ruining all my shots? Wow, that's horrific.
It's not great.
Oh my god, is that Steiner thing you use in Tarkov? Oh my god, is that Steiner thing you use in
How come everything I buy is from fucking Tarkov?
Oh my god, is that
Because everything is in fucking Tarkov, idiot.
Never even played it. Reliability of the LC57 charger has been, I'd say, mediocre. I've had a couple of jams that were not easily attributable to anything other than the gun just not being so great. Like, it could have been an ammo issue. I've been shooting a whole lot of the new AAC 5.7 because it's one of the only borderline affordable loads. This stuff is coated with what they call Saber Slick. It's like an oily coating because 5.7 extracts under extremely high pressures, especially in a blowback gun like this. Most of the 5.7 loadings on the market have some kind of a slick coating on them. I think the original FN ammo has like a lacquer, or they say it's a polymer or something, coating. The AAC stuff honestly feels like oil. It comes off on your fingers. Very gross. You could just wipe it off with a towel, I guess. I've also shot a decent amount of Fiocchi 5.7 through this gun, even including some subsonics. Subsonic is 62 grain, and when it hits the target, it barely sounds like it's kissing it at all. It really is just 22 long rifle performance. Also, I don't think that the barrel or twist rate on this LC57 is sufficient to stabilize 5.7 subs. We had a couple of keyhole rounds go through the target when shooting that stuff. I also shot a bunch of this FN Gunner stuff, which I'm pretty sure is also loaded by Fiocchi. I'm pretty sure that Federal American Eagle is also loaded by Fiocchi. All of the Fiocchi 5.7 loads have insanely inconsistent powder charges, like nuts. It's shocking. Every time I would shoot the Fiocchi ammo, whether it's this FN branded stuff or the regular Fiocchi branded stuff, I would get these like rounds that had no recoil, or these rounds that were really spicy, and it made me think the gun was like freaking out or breaking or something like that, but apparently it's actually pretty commonly understood. Fiocchi's ammo is just nuts. Fuck me, dude. That first round had no recoil. Aside from being gross and covered in oil, the AAC ammo has been way better, and it's also a little bit cheaper. The LC57 is not really fun to shoot. Part of that is because the ammunition going down range is really expensive, and you're just like, ow, 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 every time you pull the trigger. And then also, it's a straight blowback gun, so you think, oh, 5.7 should be really soft recoiling. But no, it's not. This gun still has a massive, heavy telescoping bolt to handle that blowback recoil, and so every time the bolt slaps back and forth, you're going, ow, 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 that recoil's too much.
That's horrific. It's great.
Brought to you by Browning! Also, a problem that I've had with the FS 1913 folding braces from SP Tactical is that if you are shouldering them pretty stiffly, then they will collapse under recoil unless you're holding the gun, like deliberately putting a lot of torque into it to try to kind of like keep the hinge mechanism closed. That happens to the polymer strut version and the aluminum strut version. There are a lot of better folding stocks and braces out there that actually have like a push button mechanism, or maybe just like the Midwest folding system, which is a lot more robust, but way bigger and heavier. So overall, I think the LC platform is kind of strange. The newer beefed up versions that shoot 45 and 10 mil are even harder to understand. The original 5.7 version in the full length configuration doesn't seem like it makes any sense. The charger in the 5.7 configuration does seem kind of compelling. This is still noticeably more compact than any AR-based PDWs. It's not going to be as small as something like a Flux Raider or TP9, or anything like really, truly purpose-built. If you're a fan of the 5.7 cartridge, you're not exactly drowning in choices, so I guess this is one of them. It does have ample rail estate on top for, basically optics, lights, lasers, whatever kind of setup you actually want to put on this thing. If you're not looking for an ultra-compact PDW or bag gun and you're trending more towards sub-gun, then I'd say the CMMG Descent is probably a lot better, certainly a lot nicer to shoot, a little bit more configurable because of its kind of AR nature, but it is way more expensive. Also, the version you want uses CMMG's proprietary magazines, not the 5.7 pistol magazines, which also adds to the bulk of the gun.
Hup, what the fuck is that?
You gotta stop complaining about it. It's feeling very targeted by your harassment.
It's shooting well too. That's the thing. Is Hop's performing very well with it.
All right, that's all for now. I'm pretty excited to not have to shoot this gun anymore and not buy any more 5.7 ammo. I'm just not a 5.7 believer, I guess. My quest to find a PDW that is similar in size to the Flux Raider but can actually hold 0 will have to continue with some other gun some other time. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. All right. 62 grain, subsonic. Okay, guess we broke it. And this is regular stuff.